Welcome to Public Safety Talk Radio, the podcast for all of our heroes in public safety, including law enforcement professionals, firefighters, EMTs, corrections officers, healthcare workers, and more. The show is produced by the POCUA and is founded upon its Soundness initiative. This episode is sponsored by the Finest Service Organization, a provider of line-of-duty death loan protection through many of our POCUA institutions. I am Ken Bator, your host for Public Safety Talk Radio, and I'm taking a break from the interviews here in Season 5, just periodically. Now, welcome to Season 5. We've got some great guests planned for you. We've got Vicki Newman from How to Love Our Cops. We have Chief Dave coming back for another episode, and a lot more. But this particular season, especially at a time where there's some uncertainty in the banking institutions out there, I want to highlight many of our police credit unions here in the POCUA, most of which I've worked with for decades, literally for decades. And I'm going to break this up into 4 episodes that will roll out from time to time. This particular episode, I want to concentrate on the Central Time Zone. We'll have 3 other episodes, of course, for the Eastern Time Zone, Mountain, and Pacific. But I want to start with the Central Time Zone because that particular region has 2 credit unions that have been with the POCUA practically from the very beginning. Credit unions that I've worked with for literally 2 decades. Credit unions that have a lot of longevity, both in their institution and with their CEOs, which is important. And plus, many of you know I'm from Chicago, so I want to start in the Central Time Zone. But the first credit union that I want to highlight is Police Federal Credit Union of Omaha. Now, they offer the Killed in the Line of Duty insurance, who is one of our main sponsors. In fact, that is our platinum sponsor and biggest supporter, AmTrust Insurance, and the Finest Service Organization that offers that insurance. Very key for law enforcement families. They also offer a premium checking product, which has an identity theft and recovery program attached to it from one of our great partners, Vero, who we worked with for many years. I highly recommend that product. They also offer officerprivacy.com, which is a service that is also one that we work with here at the POCUA. They cover primarily Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota. So if you're a police officer or a police officer's spouse and you're looking for services, you're especially looking for lending products, mortgages, credit cards, home equity loans, auto loans, things of that nature. If you're located in Nebraska, Iowa, or South Dakota, you should be looking at Police Federal Credit Union of Omaha as your premier lender. They also offer mortgage loans in 25 states. So definitely, if you're looking for a mortgage, look at Police Federal Credit Union of Omaha. Particularly in the Central Time Zone, which you see up here, they offer mortgage loans in most of those states. The exceptions, it's easier just to tell you the exceptions, are in the South, which are Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana. If you are in Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, or Louisiana, I've got another option for you. But if you're particularly in Nebraska, Iowa, or South Dakota, you need to give Police Federal Credit Union of Omaha a call or go to their website, which is opfcu.net, to check out their services and look at their field of membership. They've been around for over 60 years, and I also encourage you to take a look at their podcast and videos, Blue Family News Q&A. I will provide the links to Police Federal Credit Union of Omaha's website as well as this particular podcast, because they do an awesome job on that. And I am privileged to host the Blue Family News Q&A series. So obviously I am proud of it, but definitely take a look at Police Federal Credit Union of Omaha for many of the banking services that you need. The other credit union, and the credit union that actually helped me to launch the Police Officers Credit Union Association about 20 years ago, is in my hometown, Chicago Patrolmen's Federal Credit Union. They've been around since 1938. They serve all of the law enforcement families in Illinois under that particular brand, but they also own the National Police Credit Union and Police Mortgage, and I'll come back to that. But Chicago Patrolmen's Federal Credit Union also offers that triple protection that Police Federal Credit Union of Omaha offers, which is the killed in the line of duty insurance, the identity theft and recovery in the premium checking product, and officerprivacy.com. So if you're in Illinois, you definitely need to take a look at them. If you're outside of Illinois, Nebraska, Iowa, or South Dakota, then you definitely need to take a look at their subsidiary, the National Police Credit Union. They are in most of those states because their field of membership also includes the Fraternal Order of Police members. I know that they work with some specific departments, especially in states like Texas. I know that they're working with a lot of police officers in Kentucky and Tennessee. So definitely, especially if you're in the South, take a look at the National Police Credit Union and see what they have to offer, because they've got a ton of things to offer. And they've been around for, I want to say, well over 80 years, if my math is correct, from the 1938. And I will, of course, put the Chicago Patrolmen's Federal Credit Union and the National Police Credit Union websites in the show notes. And they also own Police Mortgage, which is a great resource and provider of mortgages to law enforcement families and first responders, for that matter. Their tagline for first responders who are second to none. We had the pleasure of having John Aritos, the CEO of Police Mortgage, on in season 4 of Public Safety Talk Radio. I encourage you to go back and watch or listen to that episode, because there's a lot of good information on mortgages out there. Obviously, if you're working with the Chicago Patrolmen's Federal Credit Union, the National Police Credit Union, or Police Mortgage, all the same organization, you're going to get the killed in line of duty insurance available on many of those loans. Obviously, talk to those folks at any of those 3 brands for more information on that. They also offer a lot of great information on mental and financial wellness on their website called Patrolmen's Dispatch. I will put that in the show notes as well, in terms of the link to Patrolmen's Dispatch. But I want to close here. If you're in the Central Time Zone and you're a police officer, I encourage you to take a look at both of these institutions, Police Federal Credit Union of Omaha, Chicago Patrolmen's, and their subsidiaries, Police Mortgage and the National Police Credit Union. I often encourage that in the states where you can work with both of those credit unions, that you, as a police officer or a law enforcement family, should probably look at both of those institutions over any other. I know that today we have a number of banking relationships, and I could say that these are 2 that you should have if you're in law enforcement. And I could also say that there's a lot of longevity and safety here. The CEOs of both of these credit unions have been at these institutions, I believe, for 2 decades each. So there's a lot of stability there, unlike many regional banks, as well as many other small credit unions out there that have a lot of turnover. That is not the case with Police Federal Credit Union of Omaha and Chicago Patrolmen's Federal Credit Union. So I personally can highly recommend them. If you're in the Central Time Zone, take a look at these 2. look at all of their websites, look at the information they have to offer, and see what works best for you. I encourage you not just to look, but to have conversations with their professionals on what your personal financial situation is and where you're trying to go, because I know both of these institutions are really interested in helping you and helping the law enforcement families out there really get ahead. So that's the Central Time Zone. Those are the two primary credit unions that I can recommend if you're located there. We'll be back with you next week with another great guest, and I'll come back and talk to you about another time zone and who we have available for you really, really soon. Take care and stay safe out there. Public Safety Talk Radio is produced by the POCUA. POCUA is a consortium of financial institutions serving law enforcement as well as other first responders and public safety professionals. To learn more about our association and to find one of our credit unions or service providers near you, go to www.policecreditunions.com. And always remember, if you aren't working with one of our POCUA credit unions, you're just banking with an institution that just so happens to serve first responders. As a public safety professional, you and your family deserve better. Find a POCUA credit union today.